Hello and welcome to this session of CCNA series. In this session, I'll discuss about network topology architecture such as WAN architecture or SOHO architecture. WAN, also known as Wide Area Network, in its simplest form is a collection of LANs or other network that communicate with one another. In case if you do not know what LANs are, LAN are also known as local area network. These are typically owned by an organization. They are used to connect local computers, peripherals, and other devices within a single building or other small geographical area. So WAN is essentially a network of networks, with the internet the world's largest WAN. A WAN is owned by a service provider. WANs are used to interconnect remote branch offices located somewhere else in another country or city to a headquarter in another country or a city. Service provider provides link to interconnect remote sites for the purpose of transporting data, voice, and video. WAN service providers include carriers such as MPLS network, telephone network, cable company, or satellite service. Let's look at some of the WAN topologies. Interconnecting multiple sites across WAN can involve a variety of service provider technologies and WAN topologies. So there are four common WAN topologies, which are: the first one is point-to-point. Point-to-point topology employs a point-to-point circuit between two endpoints, like site A to site B. The next one we have is hub and spoke topology. This type of topology is applicable when a private network connection between multiple sites is required. Here you can see there is a one hub, and other spoke sites are like spoke A, spoke B, and spoke C. The third type of topology is full mesh topology. With a full mesh topology, using virtual circuits, any site can communicate directly with any other site. And the fourth type of topology is dual homed topology. It provides redundancy and load balancing. However, the down part is it is more expensive to implement than single home topologies. Let's look at some of the WAN technologies. So WAN technologies are either circuit switch or packet switch. Let's look at the circuit switch technology. Circuit switch is a method of communication in which a dedicated communication path or circuit is established between two devices prior to the start of the data transmission. So before data is sent, the circuit is established between the two sides. The circuit remains dedicated to the communication for the duration of the session, and no other device can use it during this session. Circuit switching is commonly used in voice and certain kinds of data communication, for example, such as PSTN or ISDN networks. The next type of technology we have is packet switch technology. Packet switching is a method of communication in which a data is broken down into smaller units. These smaller units are called packets, and these packets are transmitted over the network to carry the data. So each packet contains the source and the destination address, along with the other information required for routing from point A to point B. And the examples of this network are MPLS, Metro Ethernet, WAN, ATM, or frame relay. So let's move on to another type of architecture, that is SOHO architecture. SOHO is the abbreviation for small office, home office network. As the name suggests, it is mostly used in homes, or small enterprises. SOHO refers to the design and implementation that have small volume of requirements, such as few switch ports, few access points, a router, and a WAN link. So the term SOHO refers to two most common cases. For example, a user who works from home, or a small office with a small number of workers and devices. It is actually meant for use in small businesses. So SOHO networks are small LANs, you can say, with less than 10 devices. A SOHO network can be a small wired Ethernet LAN or made of both wired and wireless computers. In a typical small Ethernet only SOHO LAN, a device called an Ethernet LAN switch, which provides many physical ports into which cables can be connected from PCs, printers, and a network device such as router. The router connects the LAN to the WAN. In this case, you can say it connects you to the internet. A typical SOHO LAN today also supports wireless LAN connections. So you can build a single SOHO LAN that includes both Ethernet LAN technology as well as wireless LAN technology, which includes another networking device, a wireless LAN access point. So this access point acts somewhat like an Ethernet switch in that all the wireless LAN nodes communicate with wireless access points. If the network uses an access point that is separate physical device, the AP then needs a single Ethernet link to connect the AP to the Ethernet LAN. Here you can see there is a cable connected between the access point and the switch. So SOHO network might also include, this is another important point, it might also include firewall to prevent attacks from outside, for example from internet. So however, most SOHO network today would use a single device, often labeled as wireless router, that will include all those functions which I have pointed. You can see these devices are available at your home. That's it for this session. I hope this was informative for you. Thank you for watching.